Hello everyone, welcome to Just Being Honest Gaming, and this is our Honest Fridays. Now, this won't be going up on a Friday, obviously, but I felt like this was an extremely important topic to me personally, is about the hostility and just I guess I could call it the savageness of the Crash Bandicoot community that's going on right now. Now, you will be seeing some Killing Floor gameplay in the background. It really don't match it. But I was having some complications. I was wanting to get some of the Wumpin' Thumpin' Islands from the Skylander series, but it didn't quite work out. But mostly what I'm wanting to talk about today is just how bad the community has gotten. Like, I know that sounds terrible, and it's like, oh, this is just a platformer community, you know, but this is something that's really important for a lot of people because the large amount of time that Crash has just been gone. Mostly what I'm going to be talking about today is just some of the comments that I've seen and just how bothersome it is to me and, you know, people that want to have faith in the series and what Vicarious Visions are doing. Now, already I can tell you from the stuff that I've seen, like from I believe it was the PSX conference, you know, it looks a lot different from the first demo that we was shown. The color contrast was a lot better. I've been one of the people that's kind of said, you know, the color could use a little work, but I wasn't meaning it in a bad way, because obviously the game was not finished yet. There's plenty of stuff that we can do to change the color ourselves. I mean, we have contrast on our TVs. I don't feel like that was a legit complaint that people have had. The first comment I want to go over, and this one I'm not going to be talking about. This was just so stupid. I just thought it was funny to be putting in here. There was a whole long list that this guy was complaining about in one of the videos I saw, but one of his complaints was he did not like how Crash, his walking animation sounded. It was literally for the Hang 8 level when he was running on the concrete slabs, and he didn't like the sound of that. That is probably one of the most ridiculous complaints I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is what I'm talking about. The people that are complaining about this stuff is just ridiculous. If you want a carbon copy game, it's not going to happen. This is a remake. It's going to be as faithful as it can to the original series by being something different. And I know that kind of doesn't make sense, but it's the whole thing of it's getting another chance, basically. Not everything is going to be the exact same, and that's the problem that I have, that people don't understand this. It's not, it's not Naughty Dog making the games. It's Vicarious Visions. And the thing is, they made, I know some people don't like it, but I mean the Nitro Kart series, which there really isn't any valid complaints about that game. It's just a kind of a better graphic CTR. They made the Game Boy games, and anybody you talk to says, oh yeah, those were actually very good games, you know. They won't complain about those, but Vicarious Vision steps in and is going to be remaking the original trilogy, and they're very good hands, you know, doing this, but people are complaining about every single little thing. Another one of the complaints I want to talk about is the music. Yet again, it's not the same exact thing. They're kind of making a different style of game, you know, graphically wise, and they're wanting to make it more fit their vision of what they think the game should have sounded like. Yet again, if you want to listen to the original soundtrack, you can go on YouTube and look it up or play the originals. It's not going to be the exact same game, and I think that's what people don't understand, is it's not the exact same game. Okay, so moving on to my next complaint that I saw is Crash's warping in animation in Crash 2. Yet again, this is probably one of the most ridiculous ones that I have seen. For those of you that don't know, when Crash would go into the stage, these rings would kind of teleport him in, and he would kind of build up, it would go from his shoes to his legs to his body, and he'd build up. And in the remaster, he just appears in. And people were honestly complaining about that. I mean, the sounds were kind of off, but, you know, they was close enough. He had the same type of animation when he came down, but it didn't build him up, so they was like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. I can't believe they did this, blah, blah, blah. It's just, it's so ridiculous, the amount of stuff that's happened. And I was watching one video, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a guy I'm subscribed to that does a lot of Crash content. and he was showing a demonstration of, the color contrast and everything of the first demo we seen, and then the one at PSX. And one of the, in his description below, he had put, people need to stop complaining, start bringing the hype because the game's coming out. And I commented on his video and said, the description says it all, we need to stop complaining, we need to bring the hype for the game, show them some support of what they're doing. And someone replied to my comment and said, oh yeah, just be a blind fanboy and not complain about anything. Oh yeah, definitely gonna do that, lol. I was like, there's a difference between critiquing the game and just complaining about the stupidest things. I'm not gonna complain about the game because I want it. When I play the game and I do my review of it, I guarantee there will be some things I don't like. There's some things I wish they would have kept. But he's back. And that's the thing that people don't get. It's just like, this game has to be exactly up to their standards. Nobody else matters. It's just them. And that's just not the way the world works. People need to stop complaining about this stuff. Oh, I don't like this voice actor because he hasn't done this. Who cares? As long as it sounds relatively the same, that's all that matters. And this is the one that this is one that I've seen a lot, but this is probably one of the ones that bothers me the most, is people complaining about the graphics of the game. Every comparison you see is to the original game. Now the original game is beautiful and still holds up today. But no one in their right mind can tell me that the original game graphically looks better than the remaster. That was a PS1 game and we were on the PS4 era. Skylanders, the environments in that game, the Skylanders Imaginators, the 1-4 Crash, I played it. The environments were so vibrant and just so colorful and they looked so nice, and it's the same transition over to the Insane Trilogy, because they are building it off of like a modified engine of the Skylanders engine, and it looks amazing. And people just want to nitpick and complain about all these things. Like, I don't understand, because if you look back, like when the hype for Crash Bandicoot started, rolling in, like, I'd say maybe it was 2010, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but, there was no hostility in the community at all. Everybody, agreed, oh yeah, Twinsanity was one of the last best games in the series. Mind Every Mutant is not good, which it's not. If you like it, that is perfectly fine. You can have your own opinion, but I am with the majority of the people that just did not like the way that they had made the Crash, the gameplay, the way he looked in Mind Every Mutant. It was not good. I can agree to that, I don't like it either. But as soon as it started, building up that, the game's finally coming back, it might be coming to Xbox, it might be coming to PC, and then I just see this whole other side of the community just come in and just ridiculously tear things apart that don't need it. I mean, these complaints that I'm talking about, they are legit complaints. There is somebody out there right now worried about the way his feet sound when he's walking. That is the stupidest crap I have ever heard in my life. People just aren't happy with things anymore. It bugs me. I mean, we haven't had, I'd say a good return to the series, in 15 some years. Anniversary comes up and they announce it, and everybody's just crapping on it now. Even as Skylanders design. Now, I want to talk about this real quick, and this will be one of the last points that I make. When the Skylanders design came out, so many people were, oh, this is ugly, oh, this is this. Yet again, the Mind Every Mutant design is 1,000 times worse. But I don't think people realize, if you look back at the archives of Naughty Dog's designs for Crash, when they were considering the name Willy the Wombat, the design for Skylanders looks like Crash's, pure original design. And people are, oh, I don't like this, blah, blah, blah. It bugs me at the way the community has been, and this hostility and just this nitpicking, this attitude that we have just honestly really just needs to stop. We need to stop complaining about this stuff. The game still has a good 2.5 months of development left. And guys, you gotta remember, this is a next gen title. Updates can happen. I'm not one of those people that likes day one patches because I want to play the game as soon as I can. Especially since I had pre-ordered it off the PlayStation Store, so I got to download it beforehand. But if a thing happens, it can easily be fixed now. It's not like for the PS1 era when, oh, if something was broke, they had to manufacture a whole new, copy of the DVD or copy of the CD and then send it out. And you had to buy the CD again. You get free updates with the game. And I feel like the more support that we show Vicarious Visions, the more content we can expect for the game itself. So that'll be my last point there. I just wanted to address the Crash community going into shambles. So I appreciate everybody who watched this video. Just a quick little update that had happened. I was in there and I was recording it, and I went back and I looked at my recording, and my microphone had just cut off at the last minute for some reason, and I don't know why. I tried to fix it, but I was having trouble, so I just edited, my voice in it again. But I was just basically saying, that was my ending of the video, that the Crash community was kind of going downhill, but I appreciate the support on this video, however much it gets, and just stay honest.